Hello, so in this question we are asked to write a program in 8085 to find the sum of an array stored from memory location 2100H to 2105H, which means 6 elements, and store the sum in 2201H and the carry in 2200H if the carry occurs. Now we'll first try to write a pseudocode for this and then we'll go for the program. So first of all, what we want is we want a register pair to represent our memory address. So we'll use BC register pair to represent the address 2100H and then iterate through to 2105. Now we'll need another register to store the sum here. So basically we'll be storing the sum in our register D, and then we'll store the carry in our register E, and then we'll store the final carry into the memory location here. So this is what we're going to do. Now we'll first load value from BC, which is the address, to accumulator. Then we're going to sum A plus D and then move the result in D itself. So let me write it in this way, and then move the result, or the result will be in A. Then we'll check if carry occurs. So if carry occurs, we're going to increase E by 1 and then move the sum to D. So the value of A will go to D, else what we're going to do is we'll move the sum to D and then increase BC. At the end, we'll run this in a loop, so we'll need one more variable. Let's use H for our counter. So this is going to be H. We'll decrease the value of H and then we'll loop until H is greater than 0. So this will be our pseudocode. Now let's write the actual program here. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to define MBI H, 06H, which is our counter, LXI B, 2100H. This is also my starting address. I'm going to make D as my storage for sum. I'm going to make E as my location for storing a carry. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to load the first value, which is present in 2100H. So LDAXB. This means load the value on 2100H to the accumulator. Now I'm going to add this value to register D. So basically A plus D is going to be my sum. Now if carry occurs, I'm going to go to this particular part, but if the carry does not occur, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the value of A to D. I'm going to move the value of A to D and then basically proceed with my next value, which is, so for that I'm going to do INX, or since it is only a 8-bit register, don't do INX first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do INXB, which means 2100, one value will be present, and then DCRH, and I'll compare if this value is a 0 or not. So if this value is a non-zero, then I am going to jump to a loop part, and then my loop will be here. Now if we get out of the loop, what I'm going to do is I'm going to store my result, which will be in register A itself, or we can also do this. First of all, move the value of D to A, and then we'll use STA. The sum should be stored in 2201H, and then move the value of carry to A and then store the carry in 2200H, and then terminate the program. Now if carry occurs, and then I'll write it here. So in case of carry, I'm going to go to this particular part of the program here. So if carry occurs, I'm first going to move the result to the accumulator. Then I'm going to increase the value of E by 1 using INRE. Then I'm going to repeat all of this code as it is. So INXB DCRH, jump on non-zero loop, and once the value of H is equal to 0, then we basically do move A comma D STA2201H, the same as I've done here. Move A comma E STA2200H, and then terminate the program. So this is how we complete this particular program, where we're asked to find the sum of an array stored from memory location 2100H to 2105H and store the sum in 2201H and carry in 2200H.